So play that one again. Okay? That's why you don't want to run into a TRACON in the middle of the wilderness. Because they will, you know, kill you and eat you up. So now, I have a Jianu speaking here. Okay. So this last summer in August, Ruth Cameron came here and she was crippled half of her body because she had 3 strokes. So Ruth Cameron was crippled and she got healed when she was here. And everyone was sitting here and upstairs and over by our bedroom door. The house was full with almost 45 people. Wow. So about twice as many people as we have now. And while somebody sitting over by our bedroom door is recording her testimony, they hear something, a voice over there. So I'm going to play the whole thing out and then I'll repeat the last part for you.
I wasn't expecting anything. I really didn't want to come. The only reason I came is because my grandson told me about it, and Armani. Armani said, "Grandma, I want you to go. This grandma, I want you to go. You could expect big things. I want you to go." I really didn't want to. But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." And I'm like, okay. And the only reason I went to again, because my wedding was completed up. And I wasn't expecting anything. So when I was talking to Cynthia, I was telling her about my, but he insisted that I...
Okay, so while she's talking, there's a voice that says a word, and so I'm going to play that for you.
But he insisted.
It's a whisper, and it's going to play over several times, and she's going to respond. Did you hear that?
But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive."
It sounds like she's saying hero or something like that. I'm going to play it again with the one word.
But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive."
So hero or something like that, and then one of our earthly friends responds, who's recording, "Did you hear that?"
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so that's a human. Did you hear that? That's a human. But the one that says like hero or something that sounds like hero is Jianu. One last time.
But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive." But he insisted that I go. He said, "Mama, you can have fun. You can love it. You can feel alive."
So one could say, oh, she was psychotic. She had auditory hallucinations. She heard somebody talking and then asked everybody else for a reality check. Did you hear that? Well, it turns out it wasn't an auditory hallucination. It got recorded. If you're having auditory hallucinations, newsflash, you can't record them because they're inside your head because you're psychotic. But she wasn't psychotic because it was real. It was recorded. And so are a lot of other things, which is why I'm painstakingly record. Usually though, I've learned over the years to try to do that without large groups of people because large groups of people make too much noise. So then I have to sort through, was it them, was it somebody else? So I usually save that for when Cynthia and I are out there alone. Okay, this one, let me... not sure which one that is saying. But we're going to end with this one because this one was fun. Ron. Anna, who does the sound for Jane.
Well, right, Anna.
Yeah. So she was here doing a night sit with Cynthia and I and a sleepover.
Nice.
And we were having a discussion during the night sit. Cynthia and I happen to be Trump fans, and so does Anna. So we discussed a wide variety of topics, including politics. Okay? So now we're sleeping. Now we're sleeping, and this records this while we're sleeping. Trump, bad boy. But not bad boy as in bad boy, but bad boy as in slang, badass boy. Okay? Because I sought clarification after that. Because quite frankly, I was a little pissed when they were calling Trump a bad boy. And Zor said, no, 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 no. They're saying bad boy as in slang, as in he kicks butt. Okay? Trump, bad boy. I thought that was pretty freaking awesome and hilarious. So I'm going to see if we can get this into President Trump's campaign ad, which I don't think is going to happen. President Trump endorsed by the Jean. So anyway, Trump, bad boy. That was pretty interesting. And that was after we had a political discussion that night. So what's interesting there also is that they can pick up on our slang. We have other recordings that I'm not going to play, but I'm going to tell you about real quick. First of all, for you out there watching this video, that was like 20 audios or close to that, which is probably less than 1% of all the audio recordings I do have. I have so many audio recordings, so many. I'm just not going to play them all for you. But I guarantee you, those are not auditory hallucinations. They're real and they're recorded. But one was, Cynthia and I were out there, and Saria is referring to Oman, says, we need to trim his claws. And then one of the younger male Janu respond, do you want us to groom him too? And then another one goes, Mayday! You know, they understand the slang and the humor. So we need to trim his claws. Do you want us to groom him too? Mayday! That was hilarious. Another one was they were working on Cynthia. And so the recording, you can hear her moaning in pain twice. And then an older supervisor walks up to a younger one and says, what's happening? And another one says, she's bleeding. And then the older one goes, you know, what did you do? And the one said, I think I made the stitches too long. I'm like, this is interesting. Stitches? And then the older one who's supervising tells another one to go get help. And then the younger one says, I'll be back. So what that shed the light on is the protocol of as I've said, there's always two that are working on somebody. One does the work, the other one acts as the anesthesiologist to knock the person out. So they were working together, something wasn't working right, so the supervisor came up, checked in with them, they said what was going on, the supervisor calls for backup, and I'll be back. So that audio recording demonstrated or shed the light on some protocol or procedures that they use when they're working on a human being.
I've experienced that.
You want to say any more about that? This is Steve Bachman for you out in YouTube land.
when they'd done a procedure, I call it a procedure, on me. They did it while I was wide awake. And I'm not going to go into the descriptive details of it, but as they were doing it, and I was wide awake, I went, at one point in time, I went, ouch! And the Janu that was wrapped around my head did something, and the pain went away just like that. And then they proceeded to go on with it. So there were multiple Janu there, and one was, well, the pain sensories that are absorbed through your brain. That's what this particular Janu did. If I felt pain, I would say something, and they would alter it immediately, and the pain would go away.
Cool. So I'm going to start wrapping this video up for you out there in YouTube land. If you're into Bigfoot research, if you're into trying to reach out and connect with the Janu, and Zorth, who is the head of the Council of 12, made it very clear that if a kind person with a good heart and an open mind reaches out to us, we'll reach back to them. So if you're engaged in that process and you're hearing voices around you, doesn't automatically mean you're psychotic. Now, if you want to prove you're not psychotic, start recording. Take a bionic ear parabolic microphone dish. There are a lot of microphone dish options out there. I've went through several over the years. The best one and the most affordable is the bionic ear parabolic microphone dish. Pair it up with a Sony digital recorder. If you pay less than $100, you're going to get a cheap recorder that isn't going to do a good job of recording the sound. If you can afford something between $300 to $600, you're going to get higher quality sound. Turn that on when you're out there. Record all night, and then listen to it the next day. You're going to have to download a software package on your laptop where you can, listen to it, edit it, etc. Maybe bring the sounds out a little more by increasing the volume or getting rid of some white noise. But you'll be amazed that they're around you. We even recorded them. I played it for you in the house with 45 people listening to Ruth Cameron's testimonial, and one of them was standing in the corner. And I guarantee you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we probably have one or more in our home right now listening to this whole thing and watching us. So you're not psychotic if you can record that and you have other people that heard it too. So don't let people, bully you into thinking you're crazy because you have a hobby, a passion, and interest that you're pursuing. They're very real, they're very kind, very loving, and recording is just one more way to gather evidence that they're there, they're real, and they're around you. So thank you for your time. This is Dr. Matthew Johnson signing off.